and welcome to Quarantine Slumber Party. Today we have our quarantinis, which, to be honest, did not turn out the way that we wanted them to. We're still going to show you how to make them. We're still drinking them, but guess what? We had to add juice to it because we're going to show you how to make this right now. Welcome back to the quarantine kitchen, as I like to call this lovely abode. Today we're going to be making Pina Colada Sangria, which I think is going to be really good, but I'm not sure because it involves coconut water, which is disgusting. But we're going to try it and see if it's good. So the ingredients are coconut water, sangria, and then you'll need pineapple juice. The recipe I found online said to just get canned pineapples and use the pineapple juice from there because it's cheaper than buying pineapple juice. We're going to pour the sangria in. And now the coconut water. Oh, it says shake well before drinking. Hold on, let me do that. Say when?
Yuck, coconut water. Oh yeah, you can keep going.
Okay.
Yuck. I'm saying yuck, not when.
Okay.
When.
Stop. Okay.
I'm probably gonna add some juice to that.
Yeah. We'll see. Let's try it first, and then if we need juice, then
Okay.
yeah. And if it's not good, I'll add juice to it. And then lastly, you need to add pineapple juice. So Erin, say when?
When. It's like the pineapple juice is like caressing the side of the can and the bottom of the can, and like that's where the coronavirus is. So I don't even want to consume that.
Erin, no, it's not. It's not.
The way
That's
that
you.
No, I can see it. It's not. It's.
You can see the coronavirus?
No, I can see the pineapple juice pouring down the side of the can and then entering the cup. Like it's like. Go ahead and pour that so everyone can see the coronavirus. Okay, now you're doing it differently, but when you were first doing it, it was dragging along the coronavirus can.
Okay, well this has been in the home for a while now.
Oh, it has? Okay.
Yeah.
Well, then that's fine.
It's fine.
It hasn't been in the house past 4 days?
Yes. And that's how you make the Pina Colada Sangria. I'm actually not sure that this is going to be good, but we're going to taste it. I'm going to taste it first, Erin, and I'm going to let you know, because Erin is, I think Erin's more picky than I am.
I think I am. I'm super.
It's not bad. Taste it first and then see if you want to add juice.
Okay.
We hope that you made your quarantini. We did end up adding a lot of juice to it. I think it's better. Erin's more picky than I am. What was your impression of it?
I was concerned that it had coronavirus in it.
But like post juice. Post juice. How is it?
Post juice.
That's Post Malone's son.
It was good.
She's lying. We have a cute quarantine craft today. We are going to be painting flower pots. I got flower pots from the Home Depot and some seeds as well. We got sunflower seeds and California poppies, which are all different colors. We're going to show you what materials you need right now. You'll need flower pots. I got these from Home Depot for 79 cents each. We used 4 of them, but showed only 2 in the video. This is definitely optional, but we got succulents from Home Depot. These are about $6 each to put in the pots. We also bought some flowers. We got sunflower seeds and California poppy seeds that were all different colors. And then you'll need paints and paintbrushes, of course. I've just collected these paints over the years. Most of them are from Walmart. And then you'll probably want to put newspaper down on whatever surface you're painting on, just so you don't make a mess. All right, so I hope that you gathered your materials, and we're going to go ahead and paint these flower pots. And while we're doing that, our quarantine discussion for today we're going to be discussing our top 10 things that we want to do after this quarantine ends. Feel free to comment what you want to do after the quarantine ends in the comments. Aaron, would you like to start and say what the first thing you want to do after quarantine?
I haven't really been to the club in a while, so I want to go to the club and shake my ass and be free as a bird.
Are you going to go with other people?
If other people want to go, they can come. If they don't, they don't. But I'm still going.
That's something that one of my friends gave me advice on, is that when you're planning trips or parties or things, you can't let people think that the party is going to stop just because they decide not to show up.
Right.
You have to let them know, I'm having this party whether or not you come. I mean, don't say that. I'm having this party whether or not you come, but do you want to come? No. You have to actually, yeah, I don't know. What is like a subtle way of saying that?
Girl, I'm going with or without you. Girl, you coming, you come. If you ain't, you ain't. Bye.
I want to start planning for a trip to Disney World. I was just gonna, save Disney World for when I get married and go on my honeymoon. But Aaron and I were having a discussion prior to this where we talked about how if you're always waiting for the perfect moment to do something, you're never going to feel that that moment is perfect. No moment is going to be perfect enough for you.
Right. And nobody's perfect.
Right.
For you.
So
just settle.
That's
settle for that guy who just got out of jail.
But what I'm saying is, go ahead and do that trip. I'm going to go ahead and do that trip. I can loop my entire family into it. You hear that? Michael and Jen and Nicole and Robert and Morgan and Adrian and Mom and Dad, we're all going to go to Disney World. So I need you all to start saving up.
I'm going to wear whatever the hell I want when I want. So sometimes I'm like, oh no, I don't want to wear this because where I'm going isn't special enough. It's kind of like the thing that you were talking about, like don't move until you feel like it's special. Forget that. I'm just going to do it because I feel like doing it. If I feel like wearing some high neon orange platform,
That's okay, take your time.
Orange, neon orange, flare, high-waisted, denim corduroy pants, I will.
I am going to apply for grad school. I've been emotionally putting it off, thinking, I'm not ready yet. Well, when am I gonna be ready? I'm an adult. Sometimes I don't think of myself as an adult. I know I don't look like one, but that doesn't mean that I'm not one. I want to get a master's in either dance pedagogy or choreography, or possibly dance performance. But the end goal would be to become a professor, a dance professor.
A dance professor where?
That's a good question. It could be University of Maryland. I could go back to my alma mater, JMU, but I don't want to live in Virginia. And it's where JMU is, it's not in like a commuter-friendly. Like it's not like I could live in DC and commute to JMU. That'd be way too far. And I don't want to live in the mountains in Virginia, so location, no.
Do you want to teach at a regular college or a performing arts college?
That's also a good question. I feel like the stakes would be higher at a performing arts college. I could do it. I don't want to doubt myself and say, oh, I can't do it. These are all good questions that I did not think of. I need to start thinking of those things if I'm serious about doing these things post-quarantine.
Reach for my dreams, my passion, a little bit harder because I've been chilling.
Like a villain.
I've been chilling like a freaking villain and not really pushing myself to really chase my career. Like I haven't been chasing it and not settle, because right now, the job that I have now, it pays the bills, but it's not what I want to do in life. The goal is to get what I want to do in life to be what I'm doing in life.
And what do you think like you're gonna do in the process?
I don't know yet. I got some things listed, but who knows if those will work or not, but I'm gonna try my darnest because usually I need to know in order for me to make moves, which is why I don't make moves because I never know. But now I'm saying, I don't know, but I'm gonna do this, this, and that and see if it works.
Yes, because you can.
And I'm gonna move like I didn't know that there were obstacles. That's your advice. Move like you didn't know there were obstacles.
I want to get a massage when this is over. I'm really missing human interaction and human touch. And it's not that I love strangers touching me, but I love massage, which is to say that I love strangers touching me. That's not true. But I took for granted that it was safe to get massages. And that you wouldn't get sick and die. I miss being able to do that. And even though I'm sitting in the house all day, bored in the house, and I'm in the house bored, you get sore from laying around, and you get sore from exercising, and you get sore from working at home. The soreness never ends, even during quarantine.
I'm actually more sore from quarantine than from going to dance class.
I remember the first week of quarantine, I was in so much pain. Back in February, I had gone through a really stressful incident at work, and the stress ended up giving me a pinched nerve in my thoracic spine. I had to be put on muscle relaxers and other painkillers as well. After being on the muscle relaxers and painkillers for a while, the pain went away, but then the first week of quarantine, the pain came surging back. Like, I was afraid that and I was taking the muscle relaxers because I had some left over, and this probably wasn't the right thing to do, but I was taking the muscle relaxers again, and they would work for a little bit, and then I'd wake up the next morning and be in pain. And that continued for like the first or second week of quarantine. Now the pain is gone, but I think because when quarantine first started, everything was so up in the air still, and it still is, but not as much as when it first started.
I'm gonna be more social. I'm gonna try and be a social butterfly, flying high into the sky. I'm gonna try and have genuine and deeper connections with people as opposed to staying on surface level. I tossed a sanitation worker a french fry through my window to his at a red light in downtown DC. I was eating my Chick-fil-A, listening to music, and I saw him looking at me, so I looked at him, and he looked at me, and I looked at him, and I was like, "You want some fries?" That's what that means.
And he said yes?
He was like, no. And I was like, I took one out and I was like, and I threw it up, he caught it, and he ate it.
Wow, look at the gross motor skills on you two. I wouldn't have caught it. It would have gone straight to the ground.
Right through the window. And then we both smiled, and that was the highlight of my day. I don't know if it was for his, but it was for me, because I'm just like, we connected, sir. What's your number? Are you single?
Was he cute?
No.
I love those random connections. I remember one time, Erin knows the story. I went into this store called Lolly and Pops in Annapolis Mall, and there was a cashier working there. I didn't see him until I actually went up to him to pay. His voice kind of sounded like my most recent ex's voice, which is kind of weird. I went up to him to pay. I said, "Hi, how are you?" No, he said, "Hi, how are you?" And then I said, "I'm good, how are you?" And then he looked at me and he said, "I'm doing dandy as candy," which is cheesy, and I know it's something that they tell them to say. We locked eyes at that moment, and we just had a moment. I don't know, it's weird. I've never seen him again. I think that was maybe a few years ago. Oh well. If you're watching, and I assume you are, reach out. This is really relaxing. This activity is really relaxing with the rain falling outside.
It sure is.
Alright, here's another thing. I didn't learn how to ride a bike until now. I also don't have a driver's license. I know. It's very awkward and shameful. Listen,
No, it's not at all.
Okay.
If you're 9 times out of 10, if you live in New York, you don't know how to drive.
Well, okay, I don't have a driver's license. I have a learner's permit. I can drive, just I'm not a great driver. And also driving scares me a lot. The longer you wait to get your license, the more scared you become of driving. And my parents just wouldn't teach me how to drive. They were always just like, no, go to driving school. And I went to driving school, and in driving school, they wouldn't teach me how to drive either. They were like, oh, we can't teach you if you don't already know how. We're just here to give you pointers. What am I paying you for? I'm gonna ask Erin if she can teach me how to drive.
Listen, when I was watching you ride that bike, the way you were riding that bike, get comfortable on the bike, and then we'll talk.
Okay. What's the next thing?
Go travel overseas. Go to Tokyo.
Have you been overseas before?
Nope, but I will. I will.
She will. I think that's going to be mine too. I think I took the fact that I could travel for granted. And I've never been interested in traveling, and I don't have to be interested in traveling, I guess. But now I feel bad that I can't. I can't jump on a plane.
Have you ever been on a plane?
Yeah. I've been traveling throughout the United States. I've been to Texas a few times, Alabama, both to North and South Carolina. I think I've been to South Carolina. Oh no. I've asked my mom. I've been to California.
North Carolina, raise up, take your shirt off, just around your head just like a helicopter. I'm gonna audition more. Period. Like, just period. I don't be auditioning. That's to my career though.
Does anything scare you about auditions, and that's why you don't
Yes. It's just like waiting in line, and not getting the part.
See, for me, I feel like I want to audition less. In the dance world, especially the DC dance world, it ends up being all about who you know. And once you're involved in the DC dance world, once you know a few choreographers, maybe I've been in 1 or 2 showcases. This is something that the director of the company I'm in, Sinclair, this is something that he told me is that DC will cycle through their dancers, and so you get into a showcase one year, and then the next year that showcase says, oh, you don't have what it takes, or this wasn't up to standard or something. They don't literally say that, but they say something along those lines. It's confusing because I was up to standard last year,
and I was there. I was working backstage, and I was like, who's this girl? Because I gotta clean up all her clothes.
Oh yeah, I did a solo one year for
there was so many clothes.
and I had clothes as a prop, and they were scattered all over the stage. And then Erin was working backstage,
and I did not know her at the time.
She didn't know me, so she wasn't okay with it. So I'm gonna probably audition less. And the reason being is that because in DC it's who you know, I always audition. I always go to every audition because I'm afraid of missing out. And then the more auditions I go to, the more I ended up being disappointed. It's not that I want to give up, but I want to let go of my FOMO. I want to understand that sometimes in this dance world, a lot of times it's about who you know. And I can move away, or I can just work within that field and learn how to play the game.
Probably talk to my family more.
I think I want to start going to therapy again.
That's another one for me, so you might as well put my 8 down.
I mean, I can start therapy now. I can get a referral from my doctors and do like video therapy. I also want to continue doing that in person. I think maybe if I start now with like video therapy, like FaceTime therapy, I think it'll be easier to continue it in person. rather than to wait until the quarantine ends and immediately just go from doing nothing, like no type of therapy, to in-person therapy. And I've been through therapy before, and it was really helpful. Oh, you know what I want to do? I want to meet a celebrity. That was one of my 2020 resolutions, is to meet a celebrity. It doesn't matter which celebrity. It honestly doesn't. I've met Raven-Symoné before when I was a little kid. She was at a mall doing autographs. She was so tired and the line was so long, and by the time me and my friend Terrell, we went, and by the time we got to her, she was just delirious. I could tell. I felt so bad for her. It's like difficult being in the spotlight. I mean, the money part is good. Having a lot of money is good, obviously, but then being hounded like that, and all of her fans back then were kids, and I was a kid back then, and it's like a bunch of ravenous children jumping on you. Imagine that right now, ravenous kids jumping on you in Corona times.
Just travel more, period.
I want to go on more dates. I don't date very often. I have on dating apps, but maybe I'll hold a conversation with a guy for a few hours or at most a few days, and it's so hard to connect with people. I probably would like these people a whole lot more if our first interaction had been in person instead of on a dating app. I want to make an effort to meet people and go on dates.
Me too. Date it up. I'm going on dates too.
I want to be more assertive at work. I tend to be a scapegoat no matter where I go to work. And when I start back working in person instead of on Zoom, I want to stand up for myself more. If I'm being in a negative situation at work, I want to do something about it from the get-go. I don't want to be afraid to talk about it. Because I'm a strong person, there's no reason for me to be afraid. I finished my flower pot. I painted leaves all over it. And I think this is going to be the pot that I use for the succulents.
Here's mine. Oh, shoot.
So let us know in the comments below what you want to do after your quarantine, and maybe make a list. Maybe I'll make this list look fancy and put it in a frame. Also, let us know what kind of quarantinis you like to see us make, what kind of quarantine crafts you like to see us make, and also what topics would you like to talk about. All right, thank you. Bye.
Deuces.